Hello. This is my first stream for the Game Dev Adventures. My name is Difli Saraso. I've been creating some videos about the kind of things that I do, but I thought that it would be great to try to do some things live. I'm going to start with Construct 2 since it's something really simple to create something that, I feel quite confident that live I'm not going to make as many messes as I would with other kinds of code and game development. But, let's see how it goes. So right now I'm just going to do a small stream. I shouldn't take more than 15-20 minutes, and I'm just going to show you how Construct 2 works. So let me see. So this is Construct 2. I'm going to show you here really quick. Well, let me see. Well, I just was downloading this, where you can download it since you have a free version, and you also can download the paid version, but that's not really what I'm going for. Of course, with the streaming, everything's getting really slow. Well, basically the website, I'm just going to put it here. It's going to be Sira.com. I'm going to create a new project just to show you how it's called. And let's make it a little bigger so you can see it. And this is going to be 72, and there you go. So basically this is going to be where you download Construct 2. So let's see, you should have, there you go. So you do have a free version. This is the one that I've been working on with for a long time. Now I do have a paid version, and they are a company located in the UK, so quite likely you are going to see, right now it's the Tech 10 that I'm in the US, so that's what it's asking me for in the paid version. The main difference is just that you have more things that you can do with the paid versions that with the free version, but I created lots of games that only needed the free version, and they were really great. So I would recommend to download it, to play a little bit with it, and then decide if you want it, and if you want to create like more professional games, then pay for the paid version. And as you could see, you can create games that are JavaScript and HTML5. So that means that you can export them to several platforms. And since you may have seen here that I work with Microsoft, quite likely I'm going to focus a little bit more on that part and how to do things with Microsoft platforms. So, but right now I'm just going to go and show you. I'm going to close this project, and I'm just going to create a new project and show you a little bit of the things that you can do here. So I'm going to show you one example that I think it's really great. You have when we go back, I'm going to use the empty project, a new empty project, to create something from zero, but you have a long list of templates and examples and demos that you can use here, so you can check them. The first one that I'm going to do is something that I love to show on my presentations, because something that we all know, and that is quite good to show the power of Construct 2. So I'm going to say catapult, and you saw that the only thing that I did was just to pick the right one. That's it. When you are creating already your game, you just have to run the layout, and since it's HTML, I'm just going to show you. It open the browser, and immediately you already have like mouse or touch control support, and you have your own clone of Angry Birds. Of course, this is just a small demo, not a full game, since you can see that right now there's there's not an intro, there's not a title, and you just have one level and not like many, but it's really easy to modify. So I'm going to close this and I'm going to show you. So let's suppose that somehow you don't want this as your enemy, like this weird thing that the people from the company decided that that's what they wanted. Let's suppose that you want just, I don't know, a red blog. So you could modify it here. And just doing that, it changes that for everything that you want. If this is not what you want, something a little bit more complex, then you can just look for it and say like, hey, I'm going to kill these little aliens that I have here. I'm going to pick this one that looks sad, and there you go. You already have these new enemies, and then you just say run layout, and it opens your browser, and you immediately have a new enemy. So I'm going to put it here, and that's it. So you see, so that's a template. It looks quite cool. This is an image. Most images that I'm going to be showing, they are not mine. I'm not exactly a designer. I'm a game designer, but I'm not great with the visuals. So these ones, the aliens in particular, are from a Dutch artist called Kenny. Quite likely you have seen some of his graphics out there if you are into game development yourself. So I'm just going to close this, and now I am going to create a new project from zero. So new empty project, and this is what you have. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Perhaps you are able to see here a dotted line, and originally you have this thing that is the layout, and in the layout you can create your entire level. This is a visual representation of what your level is going to be, and this dotted line is the part that is going to be shown in your browser, in your game. So that in this case it means that my level is much bigger than what I'm going to be showing. So that's perfect, let's say for a Mario game, that you have a level that is much bigger than what you see. You have a space to explore and to do things. Now I could try to start with a platform game, but I think that's something that has been done a lot. So let's see, what can I do? One of the first things that I should be able to do, let's see. Okay, well, I'm going to do one of the games that I've created a couple of times for presentations, and it's called the Bouncy Balls. And then for that, I'm just going to create it in the next 15 minutes, and then I'm going to stop. Okay. So you're going to be able to see that it's feasible. Next time, since I'm going to show you the entire interface and everything else, next time that I do a stream, I'm going to go through the entire UI of the of the project, of the product, in this case, well, construct, and we're going to get into more details of that. Okay. So right now, I'm just going to click, and this is to add a new element. I'm going to start with a sprite that is just a visual representation of something, and I'm going to start with my walls, that I'm going to make them red. Okay, so I have this square. This is not what I want, and I'm going to be working just with this. I'm going to make them more like a bar. Okay, and I can copy pressing Ctrl and then dragging without letting the Control key go. And if you have that question, so far this version of the product, Construct 2, only works with PC. You can install this in Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1. I think they are working on a Construct 3 version that should work with the Macs and other platforms. But right now, you just can do it with this, even though you can export to a Mac or to iOS in general. So this one, I want to change it. I'm going to say 90 degrees, and that's the first lesson. That here on the side, on the left side, you always have the properties of what you have selected. In this case, this is sprite. I'm going to download here, like copy, and I have my 4 walls. Okay. So now the second lesson, important one, is that you have also behaviors. So behaviors are just pieces of code that the people from the company decided that are repeated a lot in games. So we're going to see, and there are different things that can be used and reused, and that makes our life much simpler. So let me see. I'm going to focus. This is my game. So I'm going to pick this one and I'm going to rename it. I'm going to say it's called a wall. So these are my walls. And then on the properties, I can pick behaviors. And in this case, I'm going to add solid. I'm going to check the other ones just to show you, and you can see that there are many things that have to do with movement, that have to do with physics, and you have, I think it was box 2D for the physics, and turret, this is for tower defenses. We can do that one next time, since I'm going to be showing that project to some students in the following weeks. But right now I'm just going to leave it at that. So I'm just going to do solid. Now I'm going to run this game. It's going to be incredibly sad because it's just a square there. Even not completely, I have to like move this a little bit upwards to be able to see it more. So and there you go. Oh, okay. This one is the only one that I want to move. It's closer to what I want. And so now what's going to be the game? I'm going to create another sprite. So double click sprite. Well, since I already showed you the aliens, then I'm going to show you the aliens. I'm going to use this one. And let's use the blue one since I haven't used it before. I'm going to put him here, and I can modify a little bit his size, something like that. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to make him move. So the behavior that I'm going to give to this little alien is going to be bullet. I think they should have called it something different, but well, it's quite self-explanatory. When you think that a bullet has just a linear movement, so in this case, this alien is just going to move in this direction, and let's see it. You see? Now, perhaps, well, the speed is okay, but the important part, and this is when my game, in this case, is going to be called Bouncy Aliens. When it gets to this wall, that is a solid, that I already said that is a solid, it's not doing anything. So how do I change that? Well, that's a property of this behavior. So in this case, I'm going to say bounce of solid, yes. So if I try it again, it's bouncing. I'm not going to worry so much about the direction that it's taking here, but I think I can even fix it just with one click. That is going to be set angle, no. So it's going to work much better. There you go. Now, if it's just going back and forward, it's not so interesting. So I'm going to change a little bit the angle. You see that last time I used the properties here. This time I'm using this little guide here. And I'm just going to run it. And now it's beginning to do more interesting things. You see? There you go. So this is cool. But what happens if I don't just want like one alien? This is just too little. I'm going to make many copies. So I'm going to make many copies of this little alien, and it's going to create mayhem. And well, I'm going to run it right now, and you begin to see where this game is going. Okay, now the cool thing would be if they don't start with the same angle, if everything goes crazy. So at this point, I'm going to introduce you this little tab that we have here that is for the events. We have been working on the layout. Now I'm going to change here. And this is where we're going to have most of the logic of our game. A good portion of the logic is going to be in the behaviors of every object that we have here, in every sprite, or well, other objects that we can add. But other things we can put here. With other platforms, with Game Maker, with Caucus, with Unity, you have to program everything. Here you have to program some, so that's why this platform is so easy, but still even that is quite simple. So I'm going to add the first event, and in this case you always pick which object you're going to affect, and in this case I'm going to go for system. So system is just where I'm running my game. In this case would be my computer. I'm going to say system, and I know that it's going to be start on start of layout, so when the game starts. In this case I'm going to give the sprite, that in this case I'm going to rename it, that is my alien. I'm going to give the aliens a random angle, a random orientation. So I'm going to say add action, and I'm going to explain that. So every event has two parts. We just added the first, the left one, that is the condition, the when. When is this thing going to be executed? Now I need to know what, that is the action. So I'm going to pick my alien, and what I want to do is to set angle. That's the action. That is, I'm going to set the angle of this alien. And in this case I'm going to call it random. So this is one of the few times that you have to actually write something on constructor. And this is just like a function because, well, it's JavaScript underneath it all. And if you remember from geometry, the angle in this case, if it's not radians, it goes from 0 to 360. Well, I guess I could go from 359, some 99999, because 360 is against 0, but still you're going to get it right. So now if we run it, all the aliens started with a different angle, and now they are going all crazy. So that's really cool. So I'm going to add, go back here to the layout, and I'm going to add a small element, again double clicking, and this one is going to be touch. Okay, so why did I pick touch? I'm going to show you that I also have gamepad, keyboard, mouse. I could have used mouse since I'm working on my computer, but it turns out the touch works perfect because it adds not only the touch itself for touch screen, but also mouse input. So with one I can address all of them. And the cool thing is that if you're going to be making a game that works on a big screen like a tablet or your laptop, well, you may use the mouse, but if you're going for something much smaller like a phone, then still this one is going to work because it's going to be detecting touch input. Now, what am I going to be doing with this touch? Simple. I'm going to detect when the player is touching the aliens and is destroying them. I'm going to destroy them, and I'm going to give some points. So, well, I'm going to change this one for the little pink one. I think it's a little bit more visible. And then these ones, I'm going to change them to green. There you go. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to say again another event, and now since I added touch, I could say, hey, touch, that is my object, and when on touch object, when I touch any object, and now it's telling me like click to choose which object you want, and in this case it's going to be the alien. So there. So this is when whatever I put here is going to happen when I touch the alien. Now what is going to happen? The first thing that I'm going to do is just I'm going to destroy the alien, and that's what I'm going to test. I'm going to put it here. They're moving really fast for me to touch them all, but you can see that they begin to disappear. Oh, there. Oh, come on, there you go. Now it would be great to have some sort of a score system, so that's the last thing that I'm going to add for this first stream, and we're going to be done. So I'm going to add here a label that in this case is text. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to say score equals 0. That's it. But this is not really going to be saving the score. We need a variable. This is just to show it. So I go back to the events, I right click, and I'm going to add a global variable that I'm going to call score. In this case I'm going to call this one score text, so we don't have any confusions. So we have the score, that is the variable, and the score text that is going to be here showing me this. So what am I going to be doing here? Well, the score starts at 0, so that's great. When I was creating it, I could have said that the initial value is something else, but in this case 0. So I'm going to modify this event, and I'm going to add another action, and in this case the action is going to be to add to the score. So add action, then system add to, in the section of global variables, add to. Since I only have one, the list is going to show me score. If I had 20,000, then it's going to show me a long list here. And in this case, I'm going to add, I don't know, 100 to that. But see, if I run it right away, and I destroy one of the aliens, that of course I'm not able to, my score is not changing, because here I'm just adding to the global variable. I also have to modify what I have here. So I'm going to add another action, and you see that right now I'm going to have 3 actions for the same event, so that's perfect. You can add as many actions as you want. So I'm going to say the score text, almost at the very bottom, set text, and it's going to be cool, score, space, and outside the quotes, the quotation marks that you have here, you see, start, close, I'm going to have ampersand score. This ampersand is going to work as a concatenation. It's going to take this string that is a score, and then it's going to add whatever I have in the variable name score. So now if I run this, and I'm just going to change the speed of the aliens just for this case. I'm going to make them much slower. Perhaps too slow, but still it works perfect. I can start destroying them, and my score is changing. Okay, so well, I lied. I'm going to add another small thing since I have a few minutes, and basically it's like, okay, I have 8 aliens here, and right now if I destroy them all, well, that's it. I don't have anything else to do in the game. So what I'm going to do is that every, I don't know, every 2 seconds I'm going to create a new alien. So I'm going to say I'm going to add an event, system, and then I look for here in the search box, since I already know where to look for, every X seconds, and I say every 2 seconds, done. And now every 2 seconds I can add an action that is create, and for that I pick system, I look for create object, which object, the alien, the layer, this is something that I'm going to cover later. Right now we just have one layer, so that's fine. But the position, the XY, this is something that I'm going to pick randomly. Again, we already used up here the random. So this one, the XY, is going to be also random, but it's going to depend on the size of my screen or the size of the layout, depending on what I want. So I'm going to say from 0 to, I don't even know, 300. Let me see. So the layout, the size of the layout is, okay, is that, but the size of the window is really weird, 854 for I'm not even okay, well, I'm going to do that, whatever. So from 0 to 854, and since I can copy here, I'm going to copy paste from 0 to 480. Okay, so I'm going to run it. I'm going to try to destroy all my aliens here so we can see when the next one appears, and I think you can see it, that every 2 seconds is having a new alien, and it's going to be adding. Of course, I would need to get them to be a little faster, but still, it kind of works. So this is the first thing that I wanted to create for this stream. Again, I'm going to show you. You can download everything from this page, Zera, and just to finalize, this is my information. I'm going to try to create well, videos, streams like this at least weekly, and perhaps I'm just going to continue with uh, this same game that I just created, or I may pick something else. Like I said, I have to create something with tower defense in the following week, so perhaps that's a great thing. Or I may just do both. I think with both games, I could show different versions, different um, aspects of Construct 2, and then perhaps, I don't know, something with Unity or something with Cocos 2D, perhaps Cocos 2D. That's the one that I'm working with right now, and it would be great. In the meantime, well, it was nice to have you, and have a great day.